Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, people, to another episode of the Jason Gooner TV EPL review show. It's game week 14 review show. We got some midweek extra football this week. So, of course, we're here to break it all down. We had 10 fixtures, and you know the custom. As soon as the show starts on the review show, if your side that you support in the Premier League got 3 points, just drop some three in the comment section. Quick, fast. Three. Drop three in the comment section if your side win. If your side got 3 points, they scored more than the other team this weekend, or this week, I should say. Put your threes in the comment section, people. Yeah, man, say for the forward, and I never hear that. When I go see the bag of threes and know what I go on. So if your side get 3 points, drop it in the comment section. Big up yourself, DJ Gigs in the building from early. Maximum respect, my G. Yeah, man, respect. We're there, man, we're there. Another week. We did kind of get some time for just chill out. I go do some content, but I'm say, yo, sometime, you need a reset. My brain needed a reset the last few days. So we just kind of take the time and just follow up on some rest, get some more rest the last couple of days, which was needed. And also a few of the guilty pleasures, binge couple Netflix show. Big up to 50 for the documentary. It was very entertaining. Yeah, man, very entertaining. I watched all 4 episodes, and yeah, it was a good watch. It was a good watch still, but yeah, man, big up to each and everyone tuning in. Red Skull in our building. Drop a tree in our comment section. Woy, that alone DJ Shatter NC can say this week. Me no see no tree under there. Yo, trust me. This week, people, the football was mad. All right. Obviously, like midweek fixtures. So all the team them want to really play in Europe. They might get a taste of what it feels like to have to play 3 games in a week. So, teams gonna have their rotations, and obviously you're gonna get a bit of disjointedness in the defensive line, the midfield, and that lends itself to a lot of goals. Sometimes teams come out flat, which is why I saw some games where it was just a 1-0, I don't think any game, no game was nil all, but 1-0, 1-1, 1-1, 1-0. Some of those games where they never had the flip side, 5-4s, 4-3s, 3-1, 2-all. So there was a mixture of the type of game you got. But I think when you really look at like the players that play in some of the games, it's clear that training staff, medical staff, they were trying to make sure that the players can get through this period that's coming up in the December time here, because there was a bit of rotation by most of the teams. We always get 3 points because my right and left side never lose. This week was crazy. I know I am the donkey. Well, we shall see. Well, you know what the thing said, people. Midweek madness in the title. That's just the games itself. We're gonna break them all down. My style. Bring the stats up. Talk about key moments in the game. And just overall things that we just remember from the games, and anything we want to talk about as well from any game. And make sure drop it in forward it in the comment section, and we'll hold the reasoning. Yeah, people. So this week did mad. A lot of games that were gonna be, when you look back at the season, some memorable games. And we have the table ready. We have the donkey of the week ready to reveal. So stick around for that. Of course, we have the FPL check-in as well. So we're gonna see how Jason Gooner side do this week. See if it was a bounce back week. We had some disasters the last few weeks. 1 week we forget to change the team. Another week we just did foolishness with the team. So let's see if we got back into any kind of form with the fantasy this week. And yeah, I got to skip over mine. No need to mention it. No. You don't know the thing set. We are gonna mention everybody's thing. Yeah. Anyway, people, a whole heap of game to talk about and a whole heap of things. So let's get right down into it. We're not hitch people. Big up on yourself to everybody we're tuning in already. Anybody we're going forward and don't know the drill, like, share, and subscribe. All right, so we're gonna work with our sofa score. 1-0, Bournemouth Everton. And of course, what I think is gonna be a theme this week, and I'm gonna do it for every game. I'm gonna start with the lineups because to me that is the difference in this week from a lot of the weeks so far. So Everton was one of the teams that the manager said, listen, we don't really have that many options off the bench in terms of defenders when me trust. So we are going to play with back four, same back four. So Garner right back, O'Brien, Tarkovsky, Mikolenko, Pickford. Now, of course, Garner would have normally been a midfield, but my boy they're out. Keane is out. So since Keane is out, they had to put O'Brien at centre back. Ghana moved to right back. Dewsbury Hall, who've been playing a more attacking role, dropped back into midfield with Erabonum, and they were the pivots in midfield. Then you have NDI and Grealish, mainstays on the flanks, Alcaraz and Barry. Now, Everton is a team that obviously not playing in Europe. So they are one of the teams that had the luxury maybe of saying, okay, we can stay a bit more with the team that normally play. And they just have injuries dealing with. They say Dwight McNeil and Beto, the only two that came off the bench. Tyler Diblin, surprisingly, not really in the graces or the thoughts, good graces or the thoughts of Moyes. And you would have thought, a game like this where, midweek, they're light on bodies that, he wants to put into the game. They have Reece Welch and Elijah Campbell, two, U21 players. But he just went with the change up front and the change Alcaraz to Dwight McNeil. So that's all he really went with. Now, Bournemouth, this is a team that's not playing in Europe, but they happen to be... Wait, are they playing in Europe? Bournemouth not playing in Europe. No, they just fall off at the end of last year. Yeah, no, I'm not playing in Europe. Yeah, so they also could have, maybe limited the rotation a bit. So on to my boy there. Oh, Senesi and Brooks were suspended. And Cook, Jaja. Yeah, we talked about this in the preview show. So they had to make changes around the back. Trufair, normal left back. Diakite has started somewhat this season, but Mila Savljevic had been starting of late with Senesi. And Jimenez, is a rotation at right back for them. It could be Jimenez, could be Adam Smith, could be Lewis Cook, who recently came back but on a red card, could be James Hill. So they have a lot of options in the centre back and right back area. The pivot this season, most of the time, been Adams and Scott. Semenyo, captain the team. On the left, Adley, Clivert, and Krupi. Now, I was very surprised that Evan Nielsen didn't start, but he's just coming back from injury not too long, so maybe they wanted to make sure that they, manage the workload in this busy week. Tavernier is the player that I think maybe they saw approaching that red line because he has been probably the most effective, him and Semenyo, effective attackers, overall in terms of creativity, chance creation, set pieces, everything. So him on the bench definitely was a byproduct of the midweek game. So they, in the end, fall at home, and it's very rare that they don't score goals at home, but Everton just played better than them on the day, must be said. And Everton is a team that quietly now, I think they have won, 3 out of their last 4 games. And we'll obviously look at the table once we finish looking at all the games in detail and see where everybody is. But, Everton quietly just winning games. They had that win against United when they fell to 10. They won this game. I forget the other win that they would have had. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so they lost to Newcastle 4-1, but around that, the 1-0 over Man U and then the 2-0 over Everton at home. And then now they follow that up with another away 1-0 victory over Bournemouth. So that is David Moyes and his crew. playing better than people probably expected at this point. You see, they led the expected goals. They had one more big chance. Bournemouth had a little bit more of the possession. Both keepers made 2 saves. Everton had 6 corners to only 1. You see, the attacking map definitely down that left-hand side for Bournemouth. You know, the Semenyo side, everything goes through him. And then you see, this is one thing with Everton that is very, very clear. They really use both sides when they're attacking. In this particular game, because Garner was on that right side with Ndai, and Ndai really has a lot of freedom. So, you know, when that ball is in the attacking third, he might end up central. Sometimes he's even on the left. But Garner being on that side, that was the side that they were overloading Grealish. But you still see the balance from that right and left side, you know. They're attacking using both flanks. And that's something that, you know, is rare for most teams. Most teams, they have an obvious side of play that they prefer to run the ball through, or side of the pitch that they prefer to run the ball through. And you know, Everton is a team that really mix it up when they really like analyze them. You see the shots on target, Everton had a lot more, but only 3-2 in terms of shots on target. The total shots, they had a lot more. Sorry, they did hit the woodwork twice. You see where the ball was most of the time, in the middle third and the defensive third of Bournemouth. Neither team converted a big chance. Do accurate passes. Final third entry is very close, 64-61. So the goals prevented. Everton, Pickford. Again, both teams had an error that led to a shot. So yeah, this was a big win away from home. Jack Grealish got the player of the match. SoFA score rating. And yeah, 1-0 to Everton, 3 out of 4 in the Premier League. Quietly, just getting results. You know, this is a game that I think very few people had Everton winning. Of about 20 or so, 25 people, I think only 3 had Everton winning. So it was a bad start for most of us, to be honest. A really bad start. Fox the Grealish work hard for this match. Yeah. Man put in a shift. Bless up, Biro, in a building. Big up yourself, you know, my G. Yeah, man. Hopefully stick around for the reveal. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. I'll go on next up. But I'm sure you say you just still do a show, you know, just go over there, go drop a like, you know, in the shadows. And I listen to the phone call them. True, me know me that start the show, you know. Now once me start chatting, you know, at least the next hour that I say, no, I'm start my show, because I don't want there too late. Big up Falling in a building. Blessings. JB. What go on, bro? There, you know. Respect every time. Maximum respect. Maximum respect. A member in a building, you know. A gunshot there too. A one pop. Explode. Yeah, I say. All right. I never know some have sounds. All right, so one love, Everton. Now the next fixture. Fulham, Man City. What a game. All right, so as I say, this week, lineups is everything, people. So Bern Leno, Sessignon, Bassi, Anderson, Tete. Now the first thing we notice about that, no subs, no rotation, no nothing. Just play a weekend. This man say, yo, we're not playing a European game. We are playing City. Yo, not best 11 possible. Sanderberger, Lukic, pivot normally right there. Boom. Iwobi, Emil Smith Rowe, Harry Wilson, Jimenez. Now, Fulham typically rotation heavy in the forward areas. I don't think they have much besides Jimenez right now at the moment because Muniz is out. Chukwueze has been on fire. Got the start on the weekend, played well. Didn't start this one. We'll talk about him soon. And Smith Rowe came in for King, who had been starting typically in that position. Wilson starting a lot this season under Marco Silva. So that was kind of, the same option there. Now, City, Donnarumma, Vardial Diaz, Nunes, O'Reilly. So that right there, first choice defense and goalkeeper this season so far for Pep Guardiola. Midfield, I would say that's the first choice midfield as well. Nico Gonzalez, Reinders, Bernardo Silva. First choice in terms of fitness, because obviously Roger would be there if he's fit. Phil Foden, Haaland, Doku. Now the front three, besides Haaland, the wing options are wide options, are floating options in this year's Pep Guardiola City. That can be anybody, but I think the two on form right now are Doku and Foden. So for Pep, this game, he just played his best team possible, right? So these are two managers that weren't taking this midweek thing for a joke. And them say, listen, not even taking it for a joke. Them just say, listen, we're going to play you guys again. And hopefully we'll get the job done and can take you off. So the benches for both teams, you see 4 players came on for Pep. And Marco Silva used up his entire bench. Now, halftime, the score was what? What was the score at halftime? 3-1. So at 3-1, the coach bring on Castagne for Tete, who was having a tough time, and Chukwueze for Lukic, and basically dropped Iwobi back into the pivot, and Chukwueze went out to the left. So you see his impact, 8.9 for Chukwueze, and the only reason why he's not the man of the match so far score-wise is Phil Foden played as well. But he definitely had a big impact. So Kusi Asari came on. I think it was his debut for Jimenez. King came on for Smith Rowe. Kevin came on for Harry Wilson. So Fulham has put together a decent set of attacking midfielders and wide players because Smith Rowe, King, Iwobi, Harry Wilson, Kevin, Chukwueze. Not bad. So Shirky Savinho came on. Stones came on for Nico Gonzalez and played some of that central midfield role. And then Ake came on late to try to lock it. So this game was a madness, people. It was 1-0. Haaland from Doku. Brilliant first time finish after Haaland could have scored already. Foden sent him through and he hit the post. Then you have Haaland setting up Reinders with a brilliant through pass. Reinders flick it over the keeper. Foden with a wicked shot top of the box after a poor punch out. And then right on the stroke of halftime, Smith Rowe pull one back after, making Donnarumma work once and coming close with a couple of shots. He finally got a header in at the far post. Harry Wilson crossed that in. Then the subs were made at halftime, but it didn't really show much in the beginning of the second half. Foden scoring again after Haaland got a flick on and a pass into the box. Foden with a nice finish, and then Berger had the own goal after Doku took a shot that was going wide and ricocheted into the far post. Now, right after that, Iwobi scored from outside the box. Savinho and Stones came on, then Chukwueze got his first. A wicked volley on top of the box. It was a poor clearance by, I think it was Bernardo Silva, and it fell at top of the box. Chukwueze first to react. Wicked shot far post with the left foot. Then a double change again. Marco Silva bringing on Kusi Asari and King. And Chukwueze then scored again after, I think it was a set piece that kind of broke to him on top of the box. And he took a shot through a lot of bodies, went in on the far post 5-4. And then after that, now at 5-4, Haaland hit the bar again with a header after Savinho cross. And at the end of the game, right at the death, some good interplay by Fulham off the left. After Chukwueze came close to scoring a wonder goal for his hat trick after dribbling through like 4 people, then taking a shot, but it went high and wide. King was put through, flicked it over the keeper, but I want to say it was either Diaz. Yeah, I think it was Diaz who cleared it after it was rolling inside the goal. Basically, a goal line clearance by Diaz. So, just a crazy game, 5-4. And I think, at 5-1, I'm thinking, okay, this is why, when a few weeks back I was saying, it looks like Liverpool have a problem that could be long term. Their confidence is shot. They just don't look the same. So I'm not ruling them out altogether, but I don't really worry about them right now. They need to get their house in order, I think. Chelsea, I told everybody that I don't really trust the consistency. I like the team. I think they play very well. I think with Chelsea though, obviously they have some players that are their main players that they have to still manage how much they play. And I think they don't quite have the quality in depth in certain areas, especially where they can, rest players, and it's not a clear difference in the way they play, the performance of the team. I think that's why when I look at it, Man City is a team that I fear the most, because even though I think their depth quality also isn't quite what it was once in certain areas, they have Erling Haaland, and so they can win games 5-4, 6-5, 7-5, because he's gonna get a lot of chances. I mean, he had a goal and 2 assists, hit the post twice, right? So he's going to have games where he scores hat tricks, or he scores one, and he could have had 4. And that threat of just being able to create chances almost at will, especially like a game like this where Fulham basically had to go for it after they're down 5-1. And they scored, and it almost felt like every time it felt like it was gonna be too big of a comeback, they would score another goal to like give you the hope. When you're down 5-2 and it's a 70th, 75th, whatever minute, when they get that third goal and they're able to get the fourth like 3 minutes after that, the amount of belief that you get from that is crazy. And just the fact that Manchester City don't have the power in a game where they're up by so much to just control it and see it out, I think that's why, even though I am fearful of them chasing down Arsenal, because obviously the pedigree and what the experience that they have just seeing out the season and finishing strong, is one thing to have the mentality, but I just don't know if they have the players. I just don't know if they have the players in the areas that I'm going to need it, but we shall see. I think it's crazy though that they up 5-1 and win the game 5-4, and I know that Pep, and he even said it, because they were asking him like, what happened? How come this happened? How come 5-1 became 5-4? He said the Premier League. He said it's just the Premier League. But I think it's deeper than that. I don't think it's just the Premier League. I think it is they're lacking in that midfield area. They're still trying to get that balance right. I mean, Bernardo Silva does so much for you in terms of retention, but even the goals that they scored, Chukwueze scored, they were just not having the legs in that midfield area to just close down space and get to a ball. And yeah, he had to take off Gonzalez because he's been playing every minute of every game. And Stones just, hasn't been playing enough to be sharp enough to be that midfield guy that's closing down space properly and all that stuff. So I just feel like Manchester City, these weeks like this and playing in all these competitions, they used to have a squad that it didn't matter. They just make subs everywhere and it works. But with injuries, of course, and it's almost like they would, they have Kovacic and Rodri out. Those are two players that potentially could play where Nico Gonzalez usually play. So he's now having to come off in a game where he probably should have been on the field. But they had to bring him off because he played 90 minutes every other game. So with the fixture congestion, that only helps a team like Arsenal, even though right now all these injuries is like we don't have the depth with the top starters or no. If the starters go down on some academy ball, I forgot start play soon. But yeah, Fulham, Man City, wicked piece of game. Let me see what the chatter say. Everton win this week after the week before. Yeah, after them get a 4-1. It's craziness. We're going with City 5-4. Yeah, fouling. I just think them can't control the game like one time, and they don't have the anytime the game get too transition-ish. And the thing is, when it's transition-ish, it's good for their attack. Because when it can hit quickly with Haaland and intelligence and movement and all the passes in the team that they have, it's a problem. But they can't handle it going the other way when the game becomes that, when it gets stretched and shot, throw it by the keeper, go down the wing, set up another play, boom, boom, boom. They can't handle that. That Man City game and result was crazy. I agree. Blessings, Jaguars in our building. Big up. The post bad mind and save Haaland first goal. For real. Haaland do everything right there. Wicked ball from Foden. Oh, mix up. Better fears. Hey, one thing, can't go around Foden, man. Every season him do this, Have a 4 or 5 game where him just score like ridiculous amount of goal. All right, you see the possession. Fulham actually had more possession. So that just goes back to the control that I'm talking about. First half, it was even, right? Which for City is not really normal. And then second half, 66 to 34. Crazy. But you see the expected goal, City led at 2.17 to 0.91. 3 big chances created, only 1 for Fulham, and they got 4 goals. That's mad. They had 1 more shot, 12 to 11. Only 1 save made on the day by Donnarumma. Everything else fly past him. 7 corners to 2 in favor of Fulham. They attempted more passes, had more tackles. 6 to 4 shots on target. Fulham had that. It would work twice. That was Haaland doing that twice. You see the game very even. That's Man City's defensive third, Fulham defensive third, and in the midfield, scored 2 at a big chance. Them both had 23 touches in opponent's box. Fulham had six more entries. Wow. So yeah, this 5-4 is not like it even flatter Fulham. I mean, City could have scored more, yes, but both goalkeepers will want to not watch this back. Negative 2.0 and negative 2.7 goals prevented. Horrible. And 1 error led to a goal by Fulham. Fulham made an error. Look at those scores on the back line, man. 4.8. Rough. Bassi 5.9. Anderson with a stupid pass. Tete had to come off. Foden as usual, 9.3. Man shooting is top. Two keepers. 5 recoveries too. Pretty good. Haaland played good in this game. Link up play. The first assist was wicked. Ryan does look back to full fitness as well. So City there lurking, but the deficiencies around in the defense must be a problem for City fans at this point. Bless up, Conrad. What go on? Better fear us, CK. Bill, go on, my bro. Big up yourself. Big up Jagans as well. Membership a roll out. JB forward, Jagans forward, Dunbar forward on the ends. So big up to the bros. But I don't think Pep is wrong in saying it's just the EPL because many teams believe and fighting to get a winner point in the game. No, I mean, look, the fact that him says just the EPL is not that him lying, but I think it's more symptomatic of his team and how they're playing right now. Yes, it's the EPL, but even in the EPL, you don't normally see a 5-1 turn to 5-4. Even in the EPL. I just think it was a lack of control. Even though they were down 3-0 at a point and then 3-1, they were getting good entries against City. They were getting good entries against City from in the first half. Smith Rowe take 3 shots in the box, like in the first half alone. Yeah, that makes a fouling. Them have no resistance in the midfield. None. Every midfield them come against looks like a good midfield. No disrespect to Berger and Lukic and Iwobi when them drop back into the midfield. But it shouldn't look how it did look with that midfield against City. But Reinders is a worker, right? So I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to put in a tackle and thing. But Silva is just a screener. Him not winning back the ball. So, and then on the ball, because a lot of their players are explosive, right? Haaland, Doku, Reinders too, like to get it and do things quickly. The game, it's difficult for them to play that way and then not have they need to have a little bit better balance with the midfielders. They need a Declan Rice. Like that's if they had that balance in the midfield to go with Nico and what him do, the ball retention, the simple, just rotate it, move the ball and be there in that area. They need somebody that can do more than what Bernardo Silva doing. That's the balance right there. Anytime City not having full control in problem. Facts. Hot chili in the building. So what you say hot chili? I know points is points and you get 3 points, and that's what you're going in the game looking for. But how did that happen? All right. You see, Chile, that was my next point. City of old would I get the 5-1 and pass the ball to death. Just pass the damn ball to death. The fouling agree. Bernardo, thank you, but time to go. Yeah. Which team got the best midfield in the EPL this season? That's a good question, I think Sunderland's midfield deserve a shout. Sadiki, Shaka, Lefei, all them on in their midfield, Talbi, that midfield 5 or 4 or however many it is, they deserve a shout. Maybe not the best, but they're doing really well. I think you have to give Chelsea midfield a shout as well. Caicedo, Enzo, Reece James when him playing there, that they are looking good. But I think for me personally, you're probably gonna say it's biased, but I would have to say Arsenal's midfield, Zubimendi, Rice, and Eze. I mean Eze or Odegaard when he was playing. I say, yeah, listen. I miss when we made football. Yeah, man. It's a big comment that 10 more minutes and this would have been 6-5. Hey, it looked like only one person was going to score again, But then again, still, in that pressure where Fulham did I put on, Haaland get a one chance, 6-5 to City. 3 points is nice, but being 5-1 up and can't feel safe is very dangerous. Yeah, it just, I think, what's going to be interesting the next time they have a lead at the Etihad and them concede a goal, like the reaction. Because this could always be in the back of City fans' mind. This game right here. Sunderland gonna be tough against City. Rice having a great season. Work rate is incredible. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend fixtures. We have a tough match as well. The two farm teams in the Premier League over the last 9 games. I think 9 games. Villa gone 24 points and Arsenal gone 23. So the two most informed teams in the Premier League start the Premier League early kickoff Saturday. But don't teams create many chances than the teams that you mentioned that got the best midfielders? Um, no, I wouldn't say Chelsea and Arsenal concede many chances. Not many. No. Remember remember in the yes, the Leeds game was the start of it, to be honest, because Leeds could have easily, when they went 2-2, them could have scored again. But Foden ended up winning it late. I wouldn't say that teams create a lot of chances against them though. Maybe away from home, Sunderland give up a lot of chances. That is true. Um, I think sometimes let me see. What's another midfield that play well? Bournemouth in a skid, no, but early on in the season, their midfield was playing well. Scott and Adams and Tavernier. All right, so this 5-4, wicked piece of game, but I'm sure not one that Pep enjoyed very much. All right, next fixture, Newcastle versus Tottenham, and this was a crazy game. It was a bit of a slow burn in a way, but Newcastle had the much better the first half. Then in the second half, I thought Newcastle for most of it looked like they were just definitely going to win the game, but it was a crazy ending and a lot of madness happened in the second half. So my little rundown of the game. First half, like I said, no team was able to break the deadlock, but Newcastle, looked the more likely. They did get the first goal. Bruno Guimaraes came on at halftime, bunch of that rotation as I was talking about before. So you see that midfield, you don't say one of the three that normally play. That was Bruno. He came on at halftime for Sandro Tonali, and Miley got the start um, in this one. Lewis Hall, Dan Burntiao, and Livramento. Ramsdale had to play. Pope is out injured. But yeah, that was the starting back line and midfield. Then up front, they had Harvey Barnes, Voltemada, and Murphy. Then for Tottenham, Vicario, Pedro Porro, Romero, Danso, and Udogi. Van de Ven approaching the red zone. Same sit down on the bench, no risk. Bentancur and Sarr in the midfield. Paulinia, also casualty at the midweek fixture. Kudus, Bergval, Brennan Johnson, and Kolomuani end off the starting 11. So it's Xavi Simons, Richarlison, Mattis Tell, all came on. Bruno G. Elanga, Anthony Gardner, and Shar. So this one end to all people, and the second half had all the goals. Bruno got the first one, then after that triple sub immediately after, Romero stayed up after a set piece. Kudus put in a good ball to the near post. Romero diving header scores, and then a ridiculous penalty call. People, just let me know. Was this a penalty? Was this a penalty? Yeah, but the man boss, brother, the man played 90 minutes every single game, Tell me a game Nico Gonzalez not play the whole game. But people saw the penalty that Dan Burn got called for, right? The one where them claim to say him whole why boy them claim to say Bentoncourt pulled down Dan Burn. That could have get called on every corner, first of all, if that's a penalty. And even Dan Burn did feel sorry for him. You could have seen it. But Voltamada had the ball. I swear he was going to take it. But Anthony Gordon took it and he scored it to make it 2-1. Then almost like the football gods just never want Tottenham lose to that penalty. Romero scored the flukiest bicycle kick I've ever seen. The ball was going like slow motion in the goal and nobody could touch it. It's like they were allergic to the ball and it just had eyes and it find the goal somehow. And the game ended 2-2 on that mad bicycle kick. Romero ended up get player of the match, 2 goals, and the points were shared at St. James Park. So not the result that Newcastle would have been looking for at home. Tottenham, I think, somehow was able to find a point. Was it deserved? I mean, the fact that they were going to lose to that penalty, which I thought was dubious, kind of made me feel better about it. But at the end of the day, Spurs should have just lose and done, yeah, man. You see, they had the better expected goals, Newcastle. Both teams had one big chance. Way more shots for Newcastle attempted. You see the passing as well. Not so far apart. Shots on target, 7-2 in favor of Newcastle. Newcastle did woodwork as well. One big chance scored by Newcastle. One scored by Tottenham. So both teams converted their big chance that they created. Final third entries. Newcastle had 10 more. Duels, tackles 1. Pickford had a nightmare, minus 0.64. Vicario conceded twice and still had 0.42 goals prevented. 3 errors leading to shots, and that is really what's been the problem for Tottenham this season. Just mental lapses by players, individual errors, moments where they're just not focusing enough and getting the job done. And that is why there's so much inconsistency. I saw somebody in the chat ask, has Simmons lost form or is it a Tottenham issue? Well, look, I think Xavi Simmons, it's a bit of both. I don't think that under this manager, any creative players really been able to shine. You know, I think he needs to realize, I mean, Tottenham is not like a huge club in the grand scheme of the Premier League right now. But I do feel like Thomas Frank sometimes is a little too cautious with the team tactics. He just needs to have a little bit more bravery, I think. But from SofaScore, it said Fulham only got 1 big chance created and City got 3. Yeah, that's crazy, DJ Gigs. I don't know what them calling big chance because I can remember, well, maybe they weren't big chances, but a lot of moments that they created, man. Just a lot of little moments they created, a lot of like good transition that ended up in a corner or, a throwing deep into their own half. Something. The amount of entries they were getting, really. Like, City shouldn't have that many against them, I don't think. Something like that will happen this weekend. No pen will be given as it should, and consistency will be the cry. Yeah. Yep. And that's the problem. Now, when they don't call it like a fool one now, must say, oh, see, when it's this team, them don't call it or whatever the case is. So that was a rough one. But yeah, this game, I don't know, man. It was a weird one. Like, Newcastle probably should have just won the game from before. But, Altamada just couldn't find the target with a few headers. Good chances for him. Miley had a good effort saved. But yeah, it was really, Tottenham didn't really do much in the game. I mean, there was one broken down set piece. Kudus got the recycle ball wide, put in a good cross, and then the other one was a set piece situation as well. Romero reacting first to it and acrobatically getting the softest bicycle kick I think ever scored. But hey, all goals count, and it got into the goal, and it was a big goal as well because they were about to get nothing, and in the end they go away with one. So Newcastle, Tottenham, 2-2. Exciting game. I think Newcastle didn't deserve the penalty, and Romero, for all his acrobatics, probably didn't deserve for that ball to go into the goal. But to all it is, then we moved into Wednesday, Arsenal, Brentford. So Arsenal was able to get the 2-0 victory. Goes by Marino and Saka. And of course, lineups. That is the big talking point. So Raya, Calafiori, starter. Incapie, Mosquera have to be starter now. Ben White, not a starter. Odegaard, that's probably the first choice midfield right there, based on Arteta's history as the coach of Arsenal. Right, Zubimendi and Odegaard. Martinelli off the left, Madueke off the right, and up front was Mikel Merino. So obviously standing out, no Saka. Obviously he was fit enough to play but didn't. Eze, who has been on decent form, started on the bench, and Timber, who has probably been our best defender over the season, he was on the bench as well. But sadly, in the 44th minute, Mosquera, who had a good start to the game, had to come off and had to be replaced by Timber. And Timber actually slotted in at centre back for the rest of the game. Did not play right back, where some thought he might go and put Ben White back into the central area. But no, coach went with Timber as the centre back. Eze and Saka came on in the 61st minute. It was 1-0 at the time. And Brentford did have some decent spells, especially right before that double change in that second half. So that was a good statement of intent. Just switching out the wingers, freshen it up a bit. I mean, Madueke did have a bright start to the game, but he kind of faded out towards the end of the first half. Had a couple of really poor set pieces that he couldn't get over the first man, and a couple, other crosses that were cut out, and you could see his confidence kind of dip a little bit after a really fast start when he had the better of Rico Henry. But Henry did kind of grow in stature in the game as the game went on. Him and Ethan Pinnock, of course, Jamaican internationals, they got the start. Rare starts for them. I think, I'm pretty sure it was Rico's first start in the Premier League. I think Pinnock might have had a few before this. But, not starting week in, week out like they used to. I thought Pinnock was the best defender for Brentford on the day. Started shaky, gave up the goal to Marino, little bit on his heels, and Marino just had the run on him to the near post, and he couldn't do anything about it. But after that, I think Pinnock played really well, and I was a little bit surprised. I guess it was probably minutes-wise the coach thinking, okay, let me protect Ethan because his legs wouldn't be used to 90 minutes right now. But I thought maybe he could have taken off Ayer or Vandenberg or someone else because I thought Pinnock was the best one, and Sofa scored thought so too. But Arsenal, I thought the start of the game was brilliant. First 20 minutes or so, I really liked how we were playing. Good link up with Noni and Ben White. Odegaard keeping things ticking. Rice and Zubi just steady, doing pretty well. But something changed, right about the 28th minute or so. I think it was a long throw that started all of it. And they got one corner, dealt with that, went out for another corner. And on that second corner they took, Shade probably had what he thought was a goal. I mean, that header from right at the 6-yard box, good angle and a good pace. And Raya made a crazy reflex save, hand tipped it onto the bar, and won the second phase battle and cleared it. But that was a warning shot right there. And from that point, Arsenal kind of woke up again, had a really good end to the half, and it looked like it was just a matter of time. But when it came out for the second half, it was not the same Arsenal after that. And Brentford took advantage and had a good spell until that double sub Eza and Saka kind of wrestled back control our way. And even though they had some little half openings in that second half, we kind of had much more control in that second half over the game, at least in the sense of not giving them anything, not showing them nothing too huge in the form of a gap on the pitch or a gap between lines or anything like that. We're very, very structured and organized. And I do think that the trouble that they were giving us in the first half, Timber being on the pitch as a little more calm in possession, not really gonna panic if he's pressed really close and tight. He's just gonna go back to Raya, open up, receive again. He's very, very accomplished on the ball, and his addition to that back four and the build out phase was very, very helpful, I thought, in the second half. So it's part of the reason why I don't think it was as back and forth as it was at times in the first half. And then Igor Thiago was the big casualty for them in their starting lineup. He came on after 60 minutes, triple sub. Matter of fact, all three of these players typically start. So they were on the bench mainly because of the midweek fixture. And I think Collins as well, usually is a starter as well. And he didn't start, and Ethan started over him. Potter came on for Rico Henry as well. So they made all five of their subs. You can see that Andrews is, mindful that the guy is playing a lot. And I just wonder how different it would have been if Igor Thiago could have played from the start, because who they start up front? Yeah, Shade and Otara were winning aerial duels all the time. So if they had an actual target striker up there all game, I just wonder how much Shade would have benefit and Otara. But then again, he was the casualty. Put an extra defender in, make it a back five, and he went for the split forwards up front, and it was working with the flick-ons and the speed. But Arsenal, structurally good. When they get beaten behind, they usually get back, and typically they will, get back some kind of structure, even when it's a quick transition by the other team. So, Arsenal got the first goal, as I said, Marino with the header, and then at the death, after Saka should have made it 2-0 before, scuffing a shot that was a rebound from a Declan Rice shot. He made up for it with a good run, good through pass from Marino, who had dropped back into midfield after Gyökeres came on. And Saka cut back on two players. Had Gyökeres central to just play it square, but decided to go for the element of surprise. Took a shot, and Keller could only deflect it back towards the goal, and it was beyond the goal line by the time he flicked it out with his hand. It was already way over the line, and it was 2-0 to Arsenal. So another 2-0 victory. A lot of us, for some reason, that played this week had a 2-0 for Arsenal. There was about 6 of us that had the 2-0. Myself, Fitzroy, Sheridan, Hot Chili, Nitro. Maybe it was 5. Yeah, maybe it was float management. Yeah. Maybe they're using build-up play regarding big chances. Oh, maybe. Or one-on-one with the keeper. Maybe. Tricycle kick. Yeah, man. Training wheels. After the Arsenal game, Spurs defend deserve nothing good. True. Up, Apache. What go on? Yeah, man. Apache, I bless up the chat. How Brentford not score, only sweet Jesus can't tell. It's like them allergic to scoring in this match. Yeah, look, when Raya tapped the ball upon the bar, I said, Jano Star. That was a world-class save, man. How him save that. All right, so you see the expected goals, only 0.35. So all that huffing come here. Next brother tell me, yo, I don't know how to get away from not conceding. I'm saying, but besides the shot, header, what was the real one that was like, yo, that should have been a goal or something? Yanelt blocked. So that's just defending. Otara blocked. This was it. 21st minute save. Look on the XG. Holy. Yanelt, miss. Not even close. Them never take another shot until the 93rd minute. I get it though. Arsenal usually have games and the people them do them take shots. So when I see 3, 4, 5, 6, and I say, John, how them man they never score today? But I mean, him should do better with this for sure. I don't know him there try to. Vandenberg blocked. Yeah, so brother, look on the difference. On the shot, man. 10th minute, 11th minute, 17, 17, 27, 33, 37, 40, 66, 69, 69, 80, 89, 89, 90 plus 1. Yeah, be a shot. A fire. They had 8 corners to our 4. Damn. We had 9 more shots. We had 4 big chances to just 1. 200 more pass. 7 shots on target to 1 on target. 1, And them are going so. Sure, there was a big chance for through. 1 out of 3 big chances scored. Horrible. 71-55. Okay. Right, with the goals prevented. But Marina definitely deserved this man of the match. Man play 2 different roles. Saka come on and influence the game as well. 8.2 off the bench. So a big win for Arsenal. City had 1, so the gap was only 2 points. So getting it back to 5 was very good. And yeah, I think look, we got past this one, but the big worry now is Saturday comes fast. And as of right now, Pierre Nkapie is the only recognized centre back that's fit, first team centre back. Saliba did say it wasn't supposed to be anything serious, so I'm just praying that he can forward for this one. Saliba and Nkapie starting back there. If not though, what would you do? Would you just play Timber there again? I think Timber probably goes back to right back, and I think he would have to try to figure out what to do in that centre back area. Can Norgard play there? I don't know. Maybe. Well, yeah. Arsenal 2-0 people. Things you love to see. Nkapie has his positives. I do think that I hate that he's had to play centre back so fast. Like I would have loved to have seen him like get more minutes at left back right now. But I don't love how he looks sometimes in possession playing out. I just feel like he has a little bit of anxiety on the ball, and it kind of shows in how him touch it and those things that him do. But defensively, like as a defender, I like everything about him, to be honest. He's aggressive. He's not the tallest guy, but good spring, good athlete, and he has good speed. And he's South American, so you're gonna get those rough house challenges from time to time. That's if you don't know that about him, then you're just going to upset all the time. Brentford didn't get that much clear chance. They didn't. Jamaican players can't miss a goal, but the club teams can miss any amount. You see it. One Barca. Yeah, man, we watch them, man. We watch them concede. We say he just need some time to settle. Yeah, fair. Fair. I think he's a good player though, man. I love his mentality. Like he's just another hard-nosed brother where nobody now go bully him. Nobody, like I love that. Yeah, and maybe as Fowling said, it's just like the time to settle. That's why I'm gonna love like this coming game now this weekend. But I love to be able to just bench him and make him don't have to play. But right now, due to the situation, him have to play. And when you're trying to get used to a new team, a new club, new league, you want to be able to, not be overextended or not overexposed. But he's very, very experienced at this point, capped a whole bunch of times for Ecuador, captain them the other day. So, I don't think the occasion will make him play worse. I just think him just need to know within himself that him good enough and him not to be so anxious on the ball. Just play a football. Him have technique. So I think he'll come good, man. A good player. All right, next up. Another mad one, people. Brighton and Aston Villa. Now, this game was a bit of a slow burn as well. The first goal was an own goal. Sorry, the first goal was scored early by John Paul Van Heck. It was a mix-up in goal. Bizat had to start, and this wasn't rotation. This was an injury right before the game. The back line, only person that really switched up was Luca Dean went to the bench for Matson. Onana and Kamara played in midfield. Then you had Morgan Rogers, obviously I'm going to play every game. John McGinn, Gasson, and Ali Watkins. Now, Ali Watkins' season started in this game, had a brace. Can't tell when last we said that from Ali Watkins, but he had a brace, and that brace made it 2-2 at halftime. Then Onana scored a header. Good delivery into the box from Cash to the back post, and Onana rose over everybody to get that down into the goal. Then in the 77th minute, I believe it was, 78th minute, Daniel Marlin just came on and scrambled in front of the back or in front of the goal mouth, and he was able to tap it in to make it 4-2. Then they thought the game was over, but Van Hecke again, after advancing the ball through midfield, just decided to, keep on going forward after he passed it. And when they laid it back to him on top of the box and he wrapped it into the side netting, inside the goal, that is, to make it 4-3. There was hope in the stadium again. And it was just Bizzo made a bizarre save at the end of the game to keep it at 4-3. It was a scuff shot coming to the box, I think from Kadeaglu, and Welbeck did well to one, stay on side, and two, redirect the header towards the goal from point blank range. And somehow Bizzo made the reflex save. It was a mad piece of save. And that basically preserved the 3 points. I was right at the death. And even though Brighton was really on top of them, pressuring them the end of the game, they weren't able to find that goal. So 4-3, this one ended for Aston Villa. So that is, 4 on the bounce, I think, for them. And then 4 wins before that as well. But in between the 4 wins is a 1 loss to mess up the last 9 games from being 9 wins. So that's how they got their 24 points, 8 wins and a loss in their last 9. Like I said before, they faced Arsenal on the weekend, and Arsenal in their last 9, 7 wins, 2 draws. No, wait. Yeah, 7 wins, 2 draws. No. Yeah, 7 wins and 2 draws. Yeah, no loss. So that is the form for those two teams that will face off. Ali Watkins deservedly got the player of the match. 2 very good finishes by him, especially the second one. And yeah, Aston Villa keep rolling. So something has to give at Villa Park. 2 seasons ago, they got the better of us. Last season, we beat them there. So this is kind of the best of 3 series. We're going to take it. Unai Emery versus Mikel Arteta. But yeah, this was a very entertaining game right there. This Brighton Aston Villa game. I still don't see what Gesson do for this team. He had an assist, yes, but I don't know, man. Seems like a waste. But yeah, 4-3, man. Van Hecke with a brace. I don't know if that's his only one ever, but I'd be surprised if he have another one in the league. And Pau Torres with a freakish own goal in the first half. Rough on him. All right, so these were the stats on the game. You see the expected goal is very even, so this could have easily been a different result, but it makes sense that it was so close 4-3. 6 big chances created by Villa, 3 by Brighton. That's probably the most this season for Villa in a game. I'm almost sure of it. 10-7. Villa had more shots. You see the attack map. Brighton love the right side a little bit more. And Villa love that left side in this particular game. Big chance, missed 2. Score 4 big chance though. Damn. 54-37 in favor of Brighton for the entries. But them create more. 0.45. Okay. So 4-3 Villa, man. Mad piece of game. Mad piece of game. Is Ali Watkins back, people, or just a one-off? Is Ali Watkins back or just a one-off? Let me know. Some will say Pinnock old, but according to SofaScore, man, stats look good this week. Yeah, man. Pinnock play a wicked game. Brighton dash it away. You know, if those men watch Jamaica games, they'd expose those hits. For real. Big up Machina Joe. Yo, 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 yo. No, we're not walk alone. He's back. We say give him a few weeks. But I hope he's back still. He play good in another game though, man. Once him first 15 minute, 20 minute, Brentford struggle, him struggle, everybody struggle. Once I'm growing at the game a little bit, get a little more confidence. You start seeing my block some cross and a clear out ball and play good, man. And hopefully there's nothing wrong with him, make him come off and it's just like, all right, now make him play the whole 100, the whole 90 car. You haven't been playing that much. Should I tell him, say, yo, how much 90 minutes we play for Jamaica youth? So 4-3 Villa, mad piece of game. The Amex was not happy, but at least they got entertained. All right, Burnley Crystal Palace, this one was a 1-0. And also was the Wolves Nottingham Forest game ended 1-0. So we'll talk about the Crystal Palace one first. Now they have been dealing with European games, so they have been rotating, dealing with midweek fixtures. In this particular one, Sarr was out, so Kamara moved into midfield behind Mateta next to Pino, and then Lerma and Wharton was the pivot this time. As you can see, man of the match, Mark Gay had an assist to the right wing back, Daniel Munoz, to head home. Clean sheet was kept, but it has to be said that arguably one of the best saves. I know Raya's save was a huge save as well, but this save that Dean Henderson make, I believe it was from Brunlaus in the second half. My word, that was a mad piece of save. Where's the shot? This one right here, so. I don't know how the man saved that in a man. Very good save by Henderson. But that right there was huge. You see the expected goals. Burnley actually had more, 0.95 to 0.59. 2 big chance, only 11-3. Burnley led that one. The shots had more passes attempted. Shots on target 4-3 in favor of Burnley. They hit the woodwork as well. 2 big chance missed by Burnley. Entry 65 to 39. So Burnley took it to them for sure. But Palace hold out. Great goalkeeping, great defending. 1-0 victory. And we soon will find out exactly what that do for them in the table. As I said before, Gay, man of the match performance. Mateta was off. In this one, miss a big chance again. This man missed so many chances here, bro. I think he missed the most in the league so far. Big chances. All right, Wolves and Nottingham Forest. Not many of you would have been seeking out this one. Let's just be honest. But this was the team that Forest put out. See it on your right, and then Wolves is on the left. Nice. And courtesy of Jesus, who had a goal cancelled in the first half, Omari Hutchinson, who got the start and actually played the entire 90 minutes in this one, whipped in across that Jesus beat the goalkeeper to the punch. And this one was all this game needed, was one goal to get 3 points for Nottingham Forest. So Sean Dyche doing his thing as usual. You see the stats, Wolves with a little bit more XG, but one more big chance created by Nottingham Forest. Position was dead even at 50-50. You see the shots on target, 3-1 in favor of Forest. Big chance missed, big chance scored, big chance missed. 56-45, Forest led. And of course, Wolves had to cause the problems on their own. Yo, I can't believe this, Hutchinson, after the man them don't put him in the European team. Sean Dyche come to the team and the man start game. Football is weird, man. Football is a strange thing. All right, so 2-1 nils. Then we move into the later games on Wednesday now. And of course, this is the first one we're going to talk about. You see it on the screen, people. 3-1. 3-1. 3. Shatta Hennessy say yes, Watkins is back. Painful to say, but Arsenal need another defender. Boy, I refuse to buy one, brother. Put one of midfielder them around there. Is Mateta overrated? It's tough, because he's usually a lot more prolific in terms of converting chances. This season, for whatever reason, the man just keep missing chances, bro. Sean Dyche let me down. Good evening, good evening, good evening. 1 Forest, yeah man, Joseph, I hear a side. It should have been 3-0. Yeah, it should have been 3-0 leads, you're right. None of that you talk still. But people, I have to show you guys this. I thought this was hilarious. Watch this. Smash up the like button, people. Share and subscribe. Don't keep the good content to yourself. Why did I go do that? Watch this. Oh, wait. Hold on there. All right, watch this now.
I went onto the Chelsea page just to find the scoreline. Squint my eyes. Look at that Wincy spider handwriting that's in the top corner. When you beat Barcelona, the score was nice and big. You can see it. And you drew against Arsenal. Nice and big in the center. And you celebrated the draw. Don't worry, you can have the point. That was a free one. Yeah. When Leeds handled you, you put it in the top corner. This thing looks like terms and conditions. Come on, I can't see it. And for me personally, you don't use the player that scored in the loss as the graphic. He's the only one that could find the net, so.
Yo, man, tell you the truth, brother. This made me laugh. This made me laugh today, bro. That thing made me laugh. That thing, bro. Trust me, that thing made me laugh so hard. I was dying. They said the man them rotate so much they even rotate the score. Yo, yeah, I'm Jamaican, brother. I am Jamaican. Did you see Enzo Fernandez scolding the little kid? I tell you, Esteban needs to rub bench till him get mature. Yeah, I mean that he kicked out pretty crazy. It could have been interpreted. It could have been interpreted differently, but boy, I don't know. Enzo have to do that though because the youth is so super talented. You have to make sure Sam not lose him head like that. But um, yeah, look, he wasn't able to influence the game like they would have wanted in that first half, and they were the ones down 2-0 at halftime. I don't think they played completely poorly in the first half, but I do think that when you see the energy levels they were able to bring against Arsenal and compare it to what you saw against Leeds, it was night and day. And I know the engine room was different. They had Caicedo and Reece James in there. This was Enzo and Andre Santos. But I just think it wasn't even just the engine room. It was just overall the players lacked the energy required to win a match in the Premier League. It just wasn't there. Um, and Leeds crowd was into it. They were able to get the early goal and the set piece, which just lifted them even more. And I think Tanaka getting that goal right before halftime was just such a crucial time to get that goal. Neto came on and repaid the manager right away, scoring very quickly in the second half, I think the 50th minute. Then he brought on Palmer and Garnacho. And honestly, at 2-1 people, there was a play that I would have to think if Cole Palmer is just more in rhythm, it's 2-2 and we might be singing a different tune. But this shot right here, it was pulled back by Garnacho. Some wicked play on the left. Pulled it back to Palmer and look where he shot it from. Right, next to the penalty spot, a little bit to the left of it, facing the goal. And you see where he put it right past the post. And that would have been 2-2 right there. And he wasn't able to convert it. So look, when I go beat Cole Palmer, I don't play that much football, but that's really the difference in that game being different from a 3-1 to me. Because who knows if they go on to win it if they go 2-2, but that's just something that Palmer would have buried if he just didn't have the stop start season. So tough. Chelsea dominate possession as was likely, but look at the expected goals for Leeds. 2.79 to only 0.96 for Chelsea. That's crazy. There are two big chances to Chelsea. One, there are three more shots. Three more shots on target as well. Big chance scored. Entry 69.55 in favor of Chelsea though. But yeah, Leeds was good, man. Leeds was good on the day. Can't help but think that the way they ended off that City game was some kind of like confidence boost for them because they played a really good game in this game. Really, really good game. Tosin, yeah. My brethren same is the worst CB in the Prem, the whole entire Prem. Yeah, what's going on with Josh? Was he even on the bench? Yeah, man, does not play. So that's surprising that Maresca obviously was forced to use him earlier in the season, played well, or better than Tosin or Badia Shield ever played. And he can't see the field again. Even when Badia Shield came off, who did he bring on? Malo Gusto. Okay, so he must bring Trevor to centre back. So okay, that makes sense. But yeah, horrible by Adabarai. Tosin. Horrible. Just try to say the man last name and stuck. But yeah, when Neto made it 2-1, Palmer needed to score that to make it 2-2. And then right after that was the foolishness by Tosin. Gusto kind of lackadaisical, could have cleared it, but decided to just play it central. Decent enough pass, just a poor touch, terrible awareness on his heels, didn't know Okafor was really so close to him. And then Okafor just did all the work for Calvert-Lewin to tap it in after Sanchez and Okafor collide on the ground. So 3-1, and I think apart from a Giu header, really wasn't much that Chelsea did after that in the game. So good value for their money. Calvert-Lewin got the player of the match, worked hard up front. Tanaka with a good goal, Biol with a good header. And yeah, after Chelsea, beat up Barca, draw with Arsenal, feeling good about life, they brought back down to size just like that. Just like that. But yeah, Maresca deserves some beating because I get it, you rotate the side, whatever. But how Josh not getting a game is beyond me. Garnacho could have easily start the game, but I get it. Getting starting, get an assist, not kill him. And yeah, I would have to play one of Malo or Reece James today. Why are we benching players to make sure Badia, Sheila, and Tosin get minutes? Neither one of them good. But I guess Mariska philosophy is if them in my squad, I'm going to play them. Leeds did murder them. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Let us go. Big up. Tanaka goal needs to win goal of the week. Try to think. Does it? I'm trying to think, was there a better goal? You might be right, 40-20 draws, 39 Chelsea. Oh, man. Big up, big up, big up. Matthew in a building. Big up yourself. Josh getting hate for the one mistake in the Carabao game. Rough. Football is humble. It is. Chelsea doing load shedding, so Tosin confirmed to go in the summer. Gonna try to start. I made the subs at halftime. Body shield is so bad. Look at the Tanaka goal from the goalkeeper point of view. No, man, a big goal, I'm just try to think if any other goal better. But he might be right. Haaland's goal, not Haaland, Foden first goal. Sick. One Arsenal. You wish Arsenal had better attacking depth. Like even when everybody fit. So you want more than Noni, Saka, Max, Martinelli, Trossard, Eza, Odegaard, Eza. The one spot I love the depth is 6 and 8. I don't love Norgard as the depth for Zubimendi, and I don't love Merino as the depth for Rice. I think Merino best position is 10. Or false 9. Arsenal away to Everton will be a tricky one at Christmas time. I remember Everton stopping Arsenal Invincible's 49 game and beating Liverpool at Goodison Park, 16-year Rooney. A scream of a goal. Trust me. J being back covers everything. Yeah, I would do that. But DJ Shatta Hennessy, this man, give Arteta a Shatta Hennessy too. So you can see that Skelly can play there. This man is just married to the idea of the man playing left back, like always. But Chelsea should have did something about that defense in the summer, man. Thought Hato would have done something, but he hasn't hit the ground running at all. He's looked a shell of himself so far for Chelsea. And yeah, Badia, Sheila, and Tosin just not it. If they're gonna play, you're gonna concede 2 goals, like for sure. So if the team do anything else, 4 or 5, you're not concede that day. But Leeds at Ellen Road, these promoted teams, with the exception of maybe Burnley at Turf Moor, but Leeds at Ellen Road, Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, formidable this season so far. Yeah, man, I forgive them props. But Leeds with a big win, 3-1. And I'm telling you, the momentum was built from the week before. That 3-2 loss, but it still did build some momentum. Now, Liverpool was about to lose again at Anfield this season. If it wasn't for a fortuitous bounce off a Mukiele after Vert shot was going to go wide. The deflection took it into the goal to make it 1-1. But I think the storyline in this was it wasn't even Liverpool the ones that went on to nearly win. It was Wilson Isidore late 1v1 with Allison, Ron Allison. And Chiesa, of all people, was the closest to Isidore running back to defend. And he got behind Allison and was able to clear what was going to be an obvious goal after he round the keeper and put it into the goal. Chiesa, running back, sorted out his feet enough to block it and not concede what would have been sure a heartbreaking goal to concede for the Anfield faithful. But Chiesa was able to block that one. And the points were shared at Anfield 1-1. So again, ask me which midfield, this midfielder right here, Talbi, Sadiki, Xhaka. Hume usually plays on the back line in the back five, but he did push up a bit today. And they were solid as usual. Gravenberch, McAllister, Verts. So it looks like the new thing is Zoboslai and Gakpo. And Gakpo joins in and goes a little more central. Verts can float anywhere. Soboslai anywhere as well. So trying something new. Mo Salah again. Actually, I think it's the first time in forever he's benched when fit at Anfield. He came on right at halftime for Gakpo, but he didn't really influence the game like Slot probably would have wanted him to. Let's look at the overall stats in the game. Xhaka again, man of the match performance. Solid player. Playing wicked in this season so far. 1.45 expected to 0.41. That's to be expected. One big chance created by both. 14 more shots taken by Liverpool overall. 300 and odd passes attempted more than Sunderland. But Sunderland had 6 shots on target to only 4 for Liverpool. That's sad. Hit the woodwork twice as well. Liverpool hit it once. You see the through passes. Final third entries, Liverpool with way more, 84 to 43. But it's what you do with those entries. And they had 2 more shots on target with so many less entries, It just goes to show entries ain't everything. Error leading to goal, error leading to shot. That was how Liverpool got in. They did have an error as well in the game, Liverpool, but 2 errors in the game. One of them led to a goal from Liverpool. So that is it, people. 1-1. They were saying if Slot don't get 6 points from these 3 games, maybe them chop off his head, but I don't see any news that Slot is gone. So it looks like he might live to fight another day. He just might live to fight another day. Does Salah need to go back into the starting lineup, people? That's what I'm wondering. Or they'll keep benching him. Vert look a little more comfortable with this freedom role, being a bit more influential in the game. So maybe let's see. Oh, and I see the match stats. My bad. It would help if I damn share it. Oh, at least I talk very clearly, so I'm not supposed to hear them. But my bad. Yeah, I'm not go back through the Liverpool Sunderland stats, but yeah, anybody listening would have heard me saying them hopefully. But yeah, let me just show you guys the lineups and the ratings for the starters and thing. Tough luck for Mukiele there. Had a decent game otherwise, but own goal gonna drag that score down. So Roofs and Xhaka tie for the highest rating, but they gave Xhaka the man of the match. Konate and Van Dijk actually played decent, even though Van Dijk And their goal turning back like an idiot. Make it deflect right into the corner. But yeah, 1-1. Point shared. Arne Slot can't get them over the line. We say put Salah in the room in 10 and put Verts on the right. Just play Salah how you play Zoboslai and how you play Verts today. And just make them go and, find the game. Not so static where Salah just dip on the wing. And we just play Salah striker and done. Even though Ekitike or Isak have to play. One of them two. Last game of the week, people. And it was worth the wait. So Manchester United fans were feeling great late into the game. And then what happens? Corner, brilliant flick on, saved off the line. So it was looking like United's day. But that save off the line fell right to Magasa. And he made no mistake, tucking it in near post with Mazraoui on the ground, scrambling. So this was the starting lineup for both teams. Cunha back from his head injury. The usual midfield four: Dallo, Diallo, Bruno, Casemiro. Heaven had to get the start today due to injuries from everybody. And Luke Shaw and Mazraoui filled out that back three. Heaven came off at halftime for Euro. Probably just, not enough minutes in the tank to play 90 minutes. Dorgu came on for Dallo. Huarte and Mason Mount came in for Cunha and Xerxes, and Lisandro Martinez came on late for Luke Shaw. West Ham starting lineup: Ariola, Mavropanos, Todibo. So stuck with the pairing from the weekend. Wan-Bissaka right back at the best player of the game. El Hadji Diouf, he was at left back. Potts been a revelation of late, third generation West Ham player, I think. He started in the pivot with Magasa, who had a really good game. Soucek, Bowen, and Matheus Fernandes and Callum Wilson up front was trying, but couldn't really get any service today at all. But yeah, 1-1. This one ended. Let's look at the overall stats in the game. Make sure I say it a show. Yes, it is. Respect Hennessy. Yeah, man, come I couldn't hear the end of it. United level on goal difference with the fourth place team. No level on points. We say Isak in the 10th, Salah in the 9th. Yeah, man, them to try something, man. Them have all these creative players up top. Just play positionless, brother. Make them just move around and find the game and play a little more spontaneous. Doesn't seem to be working out. Will he be sacked in the summer? Is Liverpool going to make the move? I don't think you think it doesn't seem to be working out. You really think so? But the results have improved under Nuno. I mean, yeah, him lose some game and thing, but them way more competitive now, I would say. We say Jesus go forward. Yeah, I mean, I know him not come on yet, Must say not really quite ready yet. I'm gonna just put out bare video. All right, let's see the Premier League table. Then we'll check in with the FPL. And then before we cut, we're gonna do a little roundup of around the world as well. You don't know if to check in with the other top 5 league them and thing. Yeah, man, cause things are going on in them too, All right, so this is the table for the season so far. After 14 games, you have Wolves in last position. Oh boy, we need to. This 0 right here is wins, people. Them don't have any. It's quite sad, Very, very sad. It's very, very sad. All right, moving right along. In 19th position, we have Burnley, 10 points. So quite a gap to last place there. 3 wins, 1 draw, and 10 losses. So Burnley, 3 wins on the season, looking a lot better than Wolves so far. West Ham still in the relegation zone, but we're able to get a point this last go round. Mans want to fire. Nuno, and Nuno get all 3 of the wins for the team, at least 2 of them, 3 wins. He can get 2 draws as well. Them got 3 draws. So yeah, he's gotten what, 8 points out of the 12, 2/3 of the points. I don't know, brother. Make we give him some time. Leeds out of the relegation zone with that big win over Chelsea, up to 14 points now, minus 10 goal difference as well. 4 wins, 2 draws, 8 losses. Wolves concede the most at 29. Nottingham Forest in 16th position. They have won 3 out of 4, but they were coming from far. So now they're up into 15th and looking to keep on separating themselves. They have Everton at the weekend. Fulham up to 15th. Well, not up to, but at 15th right now. 17 points, 5 wins, 2 draws, 7 losses. Bournemouth dropping like a fly. 1 point from a possible 15 in their last 5 fixtures. Not exactly European form. 19 points they're on currently, 5 wins, 4 draws, up to 5 losses now, and have conceded 24, scoring 21 with a -3. Brentford in 13th position, 2 wins out of 5 of late, 19 points as well for them, but -1, so they're up to 13th, 6 wins, 1 draw, 7 losses. Then we have Newcastle, 12th position after that draw, 19 points now is what they're on. 5 wins, 4 draws, 5 losses as well. Then we have Spurs, also on 19 points, same 5-4-5, but they have a goal difference of +5, and that's why they're in 11th position currently. Then we have Everton up to 21 points now, 10th position in the top 10, and they have 6 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses, only 15 goals scored. Definitely going to be the lowest you see in the top 10. Then you have Liverpool at 9th position. They have 22 points, 7 wins, 1 draw, and 6 losses. Their draw coming in their most recent game, but 7 points from 15. Not really what Slot needs at the current moment. And we have Man United above Liverpool, people. Let me say it again. Man United above Liverpool. They have both conceded 21, but United have scored 1 more goal to give them that +1 goal difference. But they're also on 22 points, but got there a different way. 6 wins, 4 draws, and 4 losses. Then we have Brighton, same win, losses, and draws as Man U, but a slightly better goal difference at +4. Then we move into 6th position, that is Sunderland, 23 points, 6 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses, 18 goals for, 14 against. Crystal Palace up to 5th now with that win, 23 points, +7 goal difference puts them above Sunderland at +4. Then we have Chelsea in 4th position after that loss, dropping down a bit, 24 points, 14 played, 7 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses, 25 goals for, 15 against. Then we have Aston Villa, 27 points for them, 4 wins on the bounce, lost before that, but 4 games before that was wins. So winners of 8 of their last 9, they're up to 27 points now. So that just goes to show us 8 wins, that's 24 points. So in their first 5 fixtures, they had 3 points. Now they're up to 27 after the next 9. That's quite remarkable. Up to 8 wins now, 3 draws and 3 losses on the season. Then Man City in second on 28 points, 9 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. But Arsenal, the only team in the Prem still to be at single digits for goals against. They have conceded 7, 10 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 33 points. So they currently have a 5-point gap on Manchester City, but City will travel. Well, actually, City will host, I think, Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and Arsenal will have to travel early morning to go and play Aston Villa at Villa Park. Now, what's going to be interesting this weekend is, let's say Arsenal lose that game in the morning. Man City then host Sunderland, knowing a victory cuts that lead to 2 points at the top of the table. And if you flip that and say Arsenal were to beat Aston Villa away from home, then they go into that game knowing that we're 8 down now, and anything less than a win is not the best for them, you know? We need a clinical finisher. He is Mikel Merino. Wolves will beat Manu and catch a good form after. Realize a slot either win or lose, him no draw. Yeah, first draw for the season, bro. It's crazy. It's quite mad. All right, let's take a look at the fantasy now, people. No, we live in a reality, but at the fantasy we're gonna check. So somehow we get 71 points, so that don't look too bad. Let's see how it go. All right, so Dubravka was my keeper. I think I have him and Pope, so I had to start Dubravka. Munoz turned up big time for me. I'm a defender, them I'm gonna pick for the day. Never did nothing. Chalaba with one, Timber with one off the bench. Saka got a goal, so we're thankful for the 6 points there off the bench. Semenyo, I think that was goal contributions. Yep, I mean defensive contributions add 2 points to him. Xhaka the same, 2 more extra points for the defensive contribution. Kudus also got a goal, got an assist. Second man of the match. And then my 2 strikers, other than Haaland, who are captain, didn't do nothing. So Alderete, the only player that I could have played that gave me a little more points. I could have been on 74 points instead if I had started him over Timber or Chalaba. But yeah, that's it. Now looks like I've gone down in everything this week. How is that possible? Worldwide. But in my sports world, back on top with a 71 week. We love to see it. I was in first, still in first. Nicholas holding down the fourth. Demo. Where Demo I go? Demo saying I'm gonna try and get back to the top. This is the one I really want to win, people, because a million people in here, 71 is a good look. About 500, 600 are in there. And then King of Jamaica, I believe this is Ball Pre. Big up yourself, Ball Pre. King fall off so far, man. Rich Paul. Try a thing. Saka and Virgil. Marino. All right, let's see how my draft team did though. All right, I'm gonna pick up another L in this. My gosh. Ever pick up L in another one, yes, man? Who play against? Results. Me lose by 1. How the hell me lose to Mass by 1, brother? Donnarumma get 0. Timber, Ballard, Dorgu, nothing. Reinders, Haaland. And this man get a bloody assist. Blood fire. Reinders score and make the man win. People, the man beat me 38-37, 38-37, brother. Henderson. So this man not get no bonus, nothing. All right, I get no points. Charger. I just need Cunha to do anything. Just anything. Just do anything today, Cunha. Charger. Get 47 of this. Alright, man, I try and move up. This brother just keep on and get a bugger point every week. O'Reilly, you're horrible, you know, man. Give me none. Marina and Saka and Rogers, do the thing for me. Thank you. And then this one, Crystal Ball. Jeez, I can't pass the brother, man. 5 points. 50. Nico Williams. Bonus. Richards. Bonus. Timber Virgil. Southampton Mitchell. Injo. Marino Youth. Can't believe Mas beat me 38-37. Good game, Mas. Good game, Mas. Good game, Mas. Man beat me by 1 star. Well, tonight, I'm going to sort out that when I come off of this now because deadline should be tomorrow morning, yep. And deadline is Saturday morning for the fantasy proper game. So, don't know. Yep. I forgot to figure out what we're going to do with some players in the team, you know, people, because we have some decisions to make again. Big up 20K. You're just in time for the reveal to see who did well in the picks and who did horribly. Okay, so when Jesus forward it now go normal. Can't wait for it. Get rid of Louis Skelly and put Cucurella. I don't have Miles in my team. And none of them. Wouldn't pick Miles this year, brother. It look like Arteta not use him that much. He might play now because we're on a centre back and Nkapie gone inside, but I don't know when the man going to play otherwise, you know. Alright, let me go full screen. Alright, so let's do the table first, people. Dun 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 dun. Biru Golden, champion for the week, 7-3 with 2 correct scores. Biru Golden got these games correct. He got where's Biru? So Biru got the 2-all Newcastle Tottenham result and the 1-0 Crystal Palace result. Second position this week was Duckland, always playing number 2, that guy. Then we have Hot Chili, 5-5, 3 correct scores. 20K, big up yourself, 5-5 as well, 2 correct scores. And then we were 3 players tied at 5-5 with 1 correct score. Myself, Gamebirds, and Jagarns. Big up to each and everyone else who played this week. A lot of you were 5-5 with no correct scores, couple of 4 and 6s, couple of 3 and 7s, but there was one this week, sad to say, that was the worst. And we're going to get one more drum roll for that one as well in just a moment. But big up to Biru Golden. It passed, I know I saw him earlier on in the chat, but big up to Biru Golden large anyway there. Yeah, man, you did say it. You did also say it. As a matter of fact, when I saw you won, I went back to the live chat replay and I was like, I'm pretty sure he said this week he was going to win. And you did damn say that. So big up your damn self, you know. Everybody need to say them going to win. You know, that's all. Talented, but too inconsistent. Make too much mistake. Talented though, but he can't put it together for me enough. Make too much mistake. when you play for Wolves, it kind of, it don't get talked about as much, and it is what it is when you make a mistake. But play at Arsenal and make a mistake, talk about it for about 2 months. Yeah, man, Beer Golden said, gonna damn win. All right, so let us see. Whoa, pains me to say it, my brethren. Donkey of the week 14. Sheridan. Jaja. Jaja. Really sorry about that, bro. No games predicted correctly by the score, that is. Sheridan, donkey of the week for week 14, the midweek fixtures. Bounce back is real, Sheridan. The bounce back will be real. Next week, brush off yourself, fight back stronger. You know the thing go. You know the thing go. All right, people, as my promise, before we go, let's just take a look at the top 5 leagues around the world and see where they stand after another week of football. We never check in with it on the weekend. And we know that a couple of teams had some matches this week as well. I believe all of these teams will be taking part in the Super Cup, I want to say. But I think that's why they're playing these games with these particular teams this week, and they weren't taking part in the Copa del Rey. So Barca, Atletico Madrid, Athletic Club, and Real Madrid all played midweek fixtures. So those 4 teams would have played 15, and all the other teams would have played 14. Now, Barcelona were able to win again. That's 5 on the bounce. And let me show you guys how the table is looking now. They were able to beat Atletico Madrid 3-0 this week. And so where did they actually put? Okay. Okay, so Barca and Real Madrid playing this weekend as well. So these fixtures are going to be when they're doing the other stuff. But anyway, Barca 3-1 over Atletico Madrid, and 3-0 Real Madrid beat Athletic Club. So that is how that one went. But this is the table right now. Top 4, Barcelona 37 points, Real Madrid 36, Villarreal 1 game in hand, 32 points, Atletico Madrid 31 points. So they are the clear top 4 right now. 7 points separate 4 and 5. That's Betis, Espanyol tied on points with them. But they have the tiebreaker right now. Getafe Athletic Club struggling in 8th position. And then you work your way down the table. Right now in the relegation zone, Girona, Levante, Oviedo, but it's very, very tight. 6 points separate 14th to 20th. So still a lot to play for in the relegation zone right now, and definitely a lot to play for at the top of the table as well. But Real Madrid, 3 draws in their last 5. They will need to get back to winning ways if they're going to keep pace with a rapidly rising Barcelona in the league. So then we have Serie A. Let's check in with the Serie A. Now, Milan and Napoli share top, 28 points. Inter 27, Roma 27, Como 24, Bologna 24, Juve getting into the mix now, 5 points off the top in 7th at 23 points. So very, very tight in Italy. And we have some games coming up this week. Inter face Como, that should be a good one. Napoli Juventus should be a really good game as well. Milan will travel to Torino, and Cagliari will host Roma this week. So good set of games this week. Looking forward to that Inter Como game, and definitely the Napoli and Juve game should be good as well. So that will be another week to see where everybody stand in that division. Now League 1, France, Lens, surprise leaders of the league on right now, 31 points, PSG 30, Marseille 29. So it's very tight at the top of the table. Lille 26, Rennes 24, Lyon 24, Monaco 23, Strasbourg falling off a bit of late, down to 8th and 22. This week, Lille, Marseille, pick of the games. PSG, Rennes should be decent as well. Rennes up into 5th position currently. Toulouse and Strasbourg right there around each other in the table. League leaders Lens will travel to Nantes. So that's the matches this week. Lille Marseille, like I said, should be the best one for the weekend. Now, the one league that looks to be a bit of a runaway is the Bundesliga. We're up to 8 points now. Bayern Munich finally drew a game at least, but they still unflappable in the league for the most part. They this week have a trip to Stuttgart, who are down there in 6th position. So that's not the easiest away fixture. Maybe Stuttgart can pull off something. But yeah, Bundesliga, Bayern flying as per usual. But people, quick turnaround, You guys, I got tired facing me fit because tomorrow, you don't know, we are run back out for the preview show. Round 15, quick rundown. Aston Villa, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Everton, Forest, Man City, Sunderland, Newcastle, Burnley, Tottenham, Brentford, Leeds, Liverpool, Brighton, West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Manchester United, taking place Monday afternoon. So people, go and meds the game them from now. Tomorrow night we're gonna run out with the preview show, 10 fixtures, 10 previews. Yeah, man, 10 score predictions. People, congrats again. Biro Golden, top the group, top the league, won the cup for the week, midweek fixtures. Prediction boss for the week. So close, Duckland. Also had Chile with a good showing. Tony K, big up yourself, you're large. And then, of course, Donkey of the Week this week, star. Sad to say it, my brethren Sheridan, you had the worst picks this week, 2 and 8. No, sorry. Yeah, no, I put and I didn't even change your score. You were really 2 and 8 with one correct score, 2 and 8. And you got the 2-0 Arsenal game correct because you're an Arsenal fan. But you only got Man City and Arsenal correct this week. So I know I put the wrong thing on the screen in terms of how much I got, but you really were 2 and 8 with one correct score. So just wanted to clarify that. But either way, you had the worst one, and hopefully you can bounce back next week, G. Red Skull, I did with laugh. Tomorrow you're forward back. Yeah, man. Tomorrow me a forward black, bro. Heavy concerns for Atleti right now. They are falling off. Yeah, it's not looking good. Talking about blue coat teams in the Champions League. What you gonna do, bro? Football is a corruption thing anyway. Josie Brown said, 1 Bayern. Yeah, I know say here tonight that. Bless up float. Big up yourself, float. In our morals, float, because the show done. We have gone through everything. We have revealed the champion, the donkey of the week. We check in with the FPL. We talk about all the games. Stupid call by the ref in the Tottenham game. Wicked save by Raya. Wicked save by Henderson. Which goal was the goal of the week? Was it Foden or what my boy the name? Foden or Tanaka from something there? Let's see who won the poll. So everybody said the Man City and Fulham game got the most votes for the match of the week. So we're gonna always do that as the poll in the review show, people. We're gonna ask which game or which match was the match of the week. And this week you guys have selected the 5-4 thriller, which makes perfect sense to me. So in both chats, the winner of the poll was Manchester City and Fulham. So big up to everyone that participated in the poll. Big up to everybody that tuned in and watched the show. Drop a like on the video, share the video, subscribe. So I will ask, somebody was in the chat asking if I'm Jamaican. So big up to you. Hopefully you subscribe and didn't take your subscription away and you enjoyed the content that I brought to you tonight. But people, that is it. JB say I'm not traveling tomorrow, so must be able to make my picks live. Big up JB. We look forward to it. I don't know, we will return. Just looking at how the day going to run tomorrow, more than likely it's going to be a little bit later. So if you don't see me run out, surely don't lose your minds, people. Just go and roll out, and we're going to run out when the time is right. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Hopefully it's not too late. But big up on yourself. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. Come on, you Gunners.